Let's talk about something that's very important, and it's falling off of the food wagon. Last checked in with my weight, it was December 5th, 2011, and I had reached my goal weight of 165 pounds, which I worked for 90 days to get to. What I did was, when I went home on Christmas vacation, I left December 22nd, went to Florida, and decided that I was going to sport eat. I wanted to eat whatever I wanted. I didn't juice while I was there. I drank coffee every day, alcohol, beer, wine, martinis. I ate steak, hamburgers, french fries, sweet potatoes, bread, desserts, ice cream. You name it, I ate it and I enjoyed it. Donuts, McDonald's, Burger King, everything. I wanted to see what would happen for 2 months of just sport eating and eating whatever I want. So today we're going to see, and with 2 solid months of sport eating, I want to find out what I now weigh. It looks like about 189 pounds. 65, 75, 85. So in 2 months, I put on 25 pounds. It's the Ronald Show, starring Ronald, documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Ronald Show, Ronald. What if a government intelligence analyst from the Pentagon is forced to save mankind from extinction and the world from destruction, but first he must evolve into the Messiah and create the plan to save the world? The 21st century Messiah arrives, battles dark forces, and sparks the Armageddon that leads to the apocalypse, rapture, the 2012 pole shift, and extraterrestrial contact. Buy the book today by Ronald Farnham at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. The Second Coming of the Messiah, Book 1, The Awakening. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. I am your host, Ronald, and today is Friday, 24 February 2012. Let's talk about something that's very important, and it's falling off of the food wagon, is what you can call it. Okay, today is February 24th, it's Friday, 2012. Now, when I last checked in with my weight, it was December 5th, 2011, and I had reached my goal weight of 165 pounds, which I worked for 90 days to get to. What I did was, when I went home on Christmas vacation, I left December 22nd, went to Florida, and decided that I was going to sport eat. I wanted to eat whatever I wanted. I didn't juice while I was there. I drank coffee every day, alcohol, beer, wine, martinis. I ate steak, hamburgers, french fries, sweet potatoes, bread, desserts, ice cream. You name it, I ate it and I enjoyed it. Donuts, McDonald's, Burger King, everything. I wanted to see what would happen for 2 months of just sport eating and eating whatever I want. So today we're gonna see, and my roommate and I've been told I've noticeably put back on some weight. So I want to give you, the viewer, an understanding about how fast you can put back on the weight, but get a load of this. You can take off 10 to 25 pounds a week doing the juice fasting, and it can come off quickly. I had to work really hard and eat a lot of junk to get to the point where I put back on some weight. So with 2 solid months of sport eating, I want to find out what I now weigh, because it's important for you to realize that it's kind of hard to put back on the weight as much. Now, as you can see, my intestines aren't really as distended as they were. Remember, I had a big gut. But as you can see, all this acid right here is body fat around my waist and all over. The body fat goes back on. So let's see what my weight is. I kind of like stripping on camera. I don't know why. You might be thinking that. So, all right. So I'm looking. Just what I thought. It looks like about 189 pounds. 65, 75, 85. So, in 2 months, I put on 25 pounds.
190, 189.
Yeah. So, 2 months of sport eating, I put on 25 pounds. All right. So that goes to show you, you can put it back on if you go right back to your acidic lifestyle. And how do you keep from rebounding and falling off the food wagon? Well, I think one of the ways to do it is your environment. I went back home and enjoyed a bunch of meals with my wife, with my mom at her house, and my sister at her house. My wife's house, my mom's house, my sister's house. Each house filled with its own level of acidic foods, which I partook in. We didn't do any juicing. We drank coffee, soda, alcohol, juices, milk every single day. So that's the byproduct. Now, I want to get down to 155. I'm 190 today, let's say. So 55, 65, 75, 85. I want to lose 35 pounds in the next 60 days. I believe I can do that. So today we're going to set a goal weight, which we'll show you, and then we'll in 60 days. Today is February 24th, March, April. By April 24th, April 25th, my goal is to be 155 pounds by going back on the strict regimen of juice fasting. Water with lemon, which is very important to put the lemon in the water. Don't just go for the lemon, because the lemon, don't forget the lemon. The lemon is a digestive aid. It cleans your blood, it cleans your liver, it clears out gallstones and kidney stones, and it helps digest and break down extra things in your intestines. All right, well, thank you for watching. Do these things or you will die. We'll be back after this.
Have you ever wanted to write a book? Have you ever wanted to write a screenplay? Have you ever wanted to have your great movie idea turned into a screenplay, turned into a movie, turned into a book, and distributed all over the world? Well, now you can learn how to do it with the great new book by Ronald, How to Write a Screenplay in 30 Days or Less. It includes the logline, theme, synopsis, outline, and screenplay of the 3 magic questions. Learn how to write a screenplay in 30 days or less, or your money back. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it. It's just a little bit later, and I was just in the kitchen, and we went over how much weight I have gained over the holidays, which was kind of a working vacation. You know what I went through as I sat there on the side of the road dealing with police, bed sheets, and all the different things and people I've met. So now, what I want to tell you is I'm very happy to announce that the final copy, proof copy of my book, The Second Coming of the Messiah, came in the mail today, February 24th, 2012, and I'm going to open it up, and then it is going to get published, so it will be available on Amazon now. This will be the final edit. I got the first proof copy. I went through it. I found a bunch of different things I wanted to change, plus I added a lot of legal information, which I have been talking about with you and to you, that I have garnered from creditorsincommerce.com, which deals with taking control of your vessel, which is your body, and your property, like your car, your mobile home, your boat, and your land, which is your land, your actual land. And we've been going over that, and also verbal agreements. So a lot of that has gone into this Second Coming of the Messiah book, book 1, The Awakening. Now I'm going to open up my proof copy, take a look. so I can share this with you. My mom would yell at me for using my teeth right now to open this, but I don't care. Alright, createspace.com. There's the new version of the book. There's the back cover. Looks the same. They did make that change. Let's see how the bleed came out. Looks good. Looks good. I don't like that. But it's not all going to be 100% perfect. Alright, well, I'm going to go through and check through this and make sure everything's alright. But today, this book should be published. So, anyway, thanks for watching The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. We will be back after this. Peace.
Now available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble is Harry Johnson, Diary of a Gigolo Porn Star. The crazy adventure of a 1951-born male in Beaufort, Georgia with a 2-foot penis that grows to 3 feet. He goes on to become an international porn star after becoming a war hero in Vietnam. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Hello everyone and welcome back to The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. I am your host, Ronald, and it is Saturday, 25 February, or 26 February, I'll tell you what time it is right now. 6:10 p.m. on Saturday, 25 February 2010, and I just got back from my baseball game. It's 6 o'clock at night, and I just played with the Braves, Los Bravos, a baseball team that I joined up with when I got out here about in August, September, October, like around October or November, like October. I was riding my bicycle towards the Red Train going to work, where I was doing working at Donor Services Group doing telesales, right? Telesales. When I moved to Hollywood, I got a telesales job, calling up and going, hi, I'm calling on behalf of Habitat for Humanity. Will you give us $1,000 for, some major problems going on? There's my keys in the world. And we had a structure of how we would call. We had to ask him 3 times. And then that was a perfect call. So that's what I was doing. So I'm riding my bicycle down the street from my house here on Magnolia towards Lancashire in North Hollywood over to the Red Line. And I'm riding past this park that I used to ride by that now I walk by because I don't have a bicycle right now. My bicycle got stolen. That's what happens here in Hollywood. Sometimes people steal bikes. I don't care. I'll get another bike. But the point is I don't have a car. Anyway, so I'm going past this park on my bicycle in shorts and a shirt because it was still kind of warm out before winter hit. And these dudes are coming off the ball field. It was like a Saturday. They had just played a baseball field right at the park on Chandler. On the way, I go up to Chandler, and then Chandler takes me to Lancashire right up this way. And then I get out on the Red Line. And then the Red Line takes me to Hollywood, like 2 stops, Universal Studios and then Hollywood and Highland. So I'm riding my bike and these guys are coming off, and I'm like, and the dude's got a bag over his shoulder with bats sticking up, and they're in baseball uniforms. And I said, stop the dude, this kid, Big Bubba, who's a good big left-handed hitter. He's like the Bambino. And I stop on my bike and I go, hey man, are you guys playing baseball or softball? And he's like, we're playing, baseball. I go, cool, I want to play. I can play. I'm a baseball player. I'm a pitcher. I'm a left-handed pitcher. I want to play for you guys. And he's like, hey, BB. And BB is Alex. So he was like one of the coaches. He goes, this guy wants to play. I go, yeah, hey, I'm a left-handed. He goes, go talk to him. So I run over and I go, hey, I'm a left-handed pitcher. I pitched in college, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, you want to throw right now? I go, yeah. He goes, all right, grab a ball. So he grabs the ball and we walk right out onto the field, and I drop my bicycle and I'm there in my shorts and my polo shirt, and we go out and I grab a ball and I'm like, whack. And they're like, dang. So they signed me up for the team and they were kind of giddy about it. So today was my first game back from vacation from Florida, which, as you saw, wasn't really a vacation as much as it was like a law class and a lesson in dealing with the police and stuff like that, and all the crazy stuff that happened that I don't even think you guys even know about. I mean, there was it was just 2 months in Florida. Couldn't wait to get back here to California, back to the Hollywood grind. Yesterday I did the TV show The Middle, which was really cool. I did a church scene, and the father in that show is very tall. And so a buddy of mine who I interviewed, the interview that you probably just saw in one of the episodes before this one, I interviewed him about juice fasting. I recommended him because he's 6'11", as a stand-in on the show The Middle. I gave it to the PA yesterday. So, John, if you got that part as the stand-in, hey, congrats, dude. I got you that part. I asked Scott Kihm, who was with me. I said, give me your info. I wrote it down. I told the PA, I go, hey, I got a perfect stand-in, because they got this stand-in for the guy, the father on the show The Middle, who's like 25 years old, and he's like 6'1", but he has to wear like platform shoes, like these big platform shoes that are like that, like 5-6 inch foam shoes, and he's standing there. So it was funny. So I got a 6'11" guy, but I'm sure that guy doesn't want me taking his stand-in job away from him. Anyway, it's good to recommend people for stuff. So today was the first ball game. Went out there. I threw for the first time in like 2 months. Like really threw. Like I had thrown a tennis ball up against the wall and a softball up against the wall, but I didn't really get good throwing in. So I got there and I didn't start. The other pitcher started. And they came to me in the middle of the game, like around the 5th inning, and I was talking to me and the coach and the pitcher who was in, and he said, hey, how many more innings you want to go? Because he was thinking about me wanting to get me some innings, but I didn't want to force it. I said, nah, dude, we were up 6-1. And then I said, let him go as long as he can go. Don't worry about me, man. I can throw next week. If you need me, I'll go in. But he's dominating right now. We're up 6-1. So we had that conversation right there with the pitcher, and the very next inning he went out and gave up like 3 or 4 runs. And so then they were like, all right, you're in next, they said to me. And I was like, all right. So I went and got loose, and then went in, and I gave up like 4 runs. So when I came out, we were down 8-7, and I pitched the last 2 innings. We came back and went up by 2, and then won the game. And it was kind of a crazy game. And right before I went in the game, Corky comes up to me and he pounds on my chest. He's like, bam, bam, bam on my chest. He goes, you better sack up, MFer. And I was like, all right, yeah, cool. I'll sack up. I'll pull the old sack up. So I went out there and I sacked up in the last inning with the lead, and we won. So it's good to be back in California. I'm playing on Los Bravos. And I am number, let's see if you've been, is that 11? I'm number 11. Yeah. All right. Well, that's my show for today. I'm going to start doing more law shows. I'm sure you're already getting them. I probably started working them in earlier episodes. So anyway, thanks for watching the Ronald Show. Everything in the world is safe. I haven't really been talking about death and destruction, although it looks like there is a strong likelihood that we may go to war with Iran, and it's being predicted that Iran is going to drop a nuclear weapon. Not drop, but detonate a backpack nuke on Wall Street. So it's February 25th. This could happen now, because they're positioning and posing, and Iran is, they're butting heads politically and over in the ocean with their boats and stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching the Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. It's good to be back in LA. All right, peace.
if a government intelligence analyst from the Pentagon is forced to save mankind from extinction and the world from destruction, but first he must evolve into the Messiah and create the plan to save the world? The 21st century Messiah arrives, battles dark forces, and sparks the Armageddon that leads to the apocalypse, rapture, the 2012 pole shift, and extraterrestrial contact. Buy the book today by Ronald Farnham at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. The Second Coming of the Messiah, Book 1, The Awakening. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. Today is still Saturday, February 25th, 2012, and I am going to do a reading for you. This is about tax information. And let's see. So let me go over this with you. This is called the Independent Thinkers Income Tax Fact Sheet. The Independent Thinkers Income Tax Fact Sheet. Each year, millions of Americans report their earnings to the IRS, allowing a significant portion of their wealth to be claimed by the government. Yet, the law itself stipulates that tax is only to be paid on a certain kind of income. A truth about which most Americans remain blissfully unaware. Here are 10 facts you should know. First, so let me just repeat that. Yet the law itself stipulates that tax is only to be paid on a certain kind of income, a truth about which most Americans are blissfully unaware. Here are 10 facts you should know. Fact number 1. The income tax is an excise tax, not a direct tax. It applies only to revenue in which the federal government has a direct ownership interest. I'm going to have to investigate that and see what that exactly means. I'll read it again. The income tax is an excise tax, not a direct tax. It applies only to revenue in which the federal government has a direct ownership interest. Number 2, what is called income by the Internal Revenue Code is not money or receipts or earnings. It is defined as receipts resulting from the exercise of federal privilege. Are you doing business with or are you paid by the federal government? Interesting. You can always rewind and listen to these again, so I'm not going to repeat each one of them. It'll take forever. Because, I'm just reading. I don't understand all of it 100%. I'm just passing it on to you, and a lot of you out there are likely much smarter than I am. So I just happen to have a camera that I use obsessively. All right, here we go. Number 3. The income tax was instituted in, I guess that's 1862. The income tax was instituted in 1862. The 16th Amendment in 1913 did not expand the scope of definition of taxable income. Until the 1940s, only about 4% of Americans, those who worked for or were involved with the federal government, paid annual income tax. Okay, so the income tax was instituted in 1862. The 16th Amendment in 1913 did not expand the scope of definition of taxable income. Until the 1940s, only about 4% of Americans, and then parentheses, those who worked for or were involved with the federal government, close parentheses, paid annual income. So until the 1940s, only about 4% of Americans paid annual income. That's an important fact. What percentage do they want paying it now?
100%. They want all of us paying it. That's the whole deal with the green cards, citizenship. They want people to come over, or they want people who do come to the United States to create their citizenship, which is really just their account that they can be taxed through. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about. Bottom line, it's about taxation and profit or interest. Number 4, during World War II, the government called for Americans to pay income tax as support to the war effort. Patriotically, a large number of citizens complied. Number 5, the Internal Revenue Code. Let's go back to number 4. During World War II, the government called for Americans to pay income tax as support for the war effort. Patriotically, a large number of citizens complied. Well, and then, interesting. It's just become habit, They just keep shoving rhetoric down your throat. That's why I say the Ronald Show, and then I follow it with documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex, because I'm repeating that rhetoric so that you will understand that the show is here to illuminate you or, enlighten you to the fact that things that are going on the planet are a byproduct of profit, and the global military-industrial complex thrives and survives on profit. And they make their profit through war. And they create war through the fomenting of information using media rhetoric. So I'm using media rhetoric too, so that I can show you what they're doing and then give you a solution so that you can escape from being a part of what they are doing. And if we all escape, then they won't have a reason to do it anymore, because no one will be participating. Why do we want to participate in what they're doing the way they're doing it? It's not healthy. Okay. Number 5. The Internal Revenue Code grew to more than 3 million words. A wage withholding program was instituted, and thousands of professionals now help Americans prepare their tax returns. That's accountants and stuff. H&R Block. Number 6, each year millions of W-2 and 1099 reports are issued for wages, quote unquote, or non-employee compensation, quote unquote, by payers who do not understand that these forms are intended for federal entities making federally connected payments. W-2 and 1099 forms serve as legal testimony and, without rebuttal, make the named individual liable for an income tax. Do I need to read that again? No, I did that one good. You can rewind and listen to that. That's an important paragraph there. Okay, so remember, the W-2 and the 1099 are really for, it says federally connected payments. And then it's also a testimony. When you fill that out, you're making testimony. Really, you're memoranduming a verbal contract with the Internal Revenue Service. Internal Revenue Service. They are a service.
Have you ever wanted to write a book? Have you ever wanted to write a screenplay? Have you ever wanted to have your great movie idea turned into a screenplay, turned into a movie, turned into a book, and distributed all over the world? Well, now you can learn how to do it with the great new book by Ronald Farnham, How to Write a Screenplay in 30 Days or Less. It includes the logline, theme, synopsis, outline, and screenplay of the 3 magic questions. Learn how to write a screenplay in 30 days or less, or your money back. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Okay, number 7. The Form 1040 U.S. Individuals Income Tax Report. So it says number 7 is and then, quote, Form 1040 U.S. Individual Income Tax Return, close quote, is intended as a way for individuals to correct information, quote unquote, testimony made about them by others. Americans have until April 15th of each year to correct their record. Not filing a tax return waives your right to properly report your income. So the 1040 allows you to correct the record in your favor, of course. Number 8. While Congress cannot take your money directly, it has created a tax code. It has created a tax code that is convoluted enough to deceive most people. Income, wages, employee, employer, and trade or business are all specifically defined in the code. Yet most of us interpret these words in a common or everyday way. So let me write that. Let me read that again. While Congress cannot take your money directly, it has created a tax code that is convoluted enough to deceive most people. Quote unquote income, quote unquote wages, quote unquote employee, quote employer, and quote trade or business, unquote, are all specifically defined in the code. Yet most of us interpret these words in a common or everyday way. Now, as you'll know, Creditor in Commerce has probably been teaching you, if you've been following it and listening to what I've been saying about your public and private trust. That's a capitalized trust. They're talking about public trust, the all capital trust. These names, the employer name, U.S. citizen name. All right, let's see number 9. Once a return 1040 form is filed, it is legally valid and answers the question of whether or not you were engaged in taxable activities for that year. It is the means provided by law for you to set the record straight. Number 10, the U.S. tax system is based on individuals. The U.S. tax system is based on individuals' self-assessment and voluntary compliance. The government will accept your money unless you inform it every year that you are entitled to non-payment or to a refund of what you have paid. So, the number 10 is the U.S. tax system is based on individual self-assessment and voluntary compliance. The government will accept your money unless you inform it every year that you are entitled to non-payment or to a refund of what you have paid. Really, that's conditional acceptance. You inform them. You make the contract. Hey, I understand the law. Here's my form. I don't know anything. You guys actually owe me. And that's what you do when you file taxes. So that's wonderful. I always claim exempt. So here's the back of the card now. I'm going to read the back of the card to you. All right? Most Americans are woefully uninformed about the nature of who is to pay income tax. Reporting income and deducting expenses is the only relief available to many, even with the help of trained professionals, all of whom operate under the same misconceptions. So, most Americans are woefully misinformed or uninformed about the nature of who is to pay income tax. Reporting income and deducting expenses is the only relief available to many, even with the help of trained professionals, all of whom operate under the same misconceptions. Common misunderstandings. There is no law that says I have to pay income tax. The 16th Amendment was never ratified. Filing a tax return makes me part of the system. It's better to pay my taxes and stay out of trouble. Okay, so those are common misunderstandings. There is no law that says I have to pay income tax. The 16th Amendment was never ratified. Filing a tax return makes me part of the system. And it's better to pay more my taxes and stay out of trouble. So that's the things that people are misunderstanding. Now here's a fact. And it says, fact. That's what it says. And that's how I'm going to read it. So, fact. Only a certain kind of income is taxable. The U.S. Constitution denies the government the right to tax a person's exercise of the financial individual right to work, or I don't know what that word is, or something. Okay, so let me read that again. The U.S. Constitution denies the government the right to tax a person's exercise of the fundamental individual right to work. Although many people believe the income tax is unconstitutional, they do not understand how the imposition of this tax has become legal. The good news is that the Internal Revenue Code provides you a way to declare your freedom. Wonderful. Your freedom from income tax each and every year. So, the good news is that the Internal Revenue Code provides you a way to declare your freedom from income tax each and every year. Great. So what is that? And now I'm going to read the last part. Join thousands of Americans who have unchained themselves from a pervasive system that feeds on their ignorance. Get a refund of all taxes withheld, even deductions for Social Security, Medicare, and disability. Amend your past year's returns and collect refunds plus interest. This is 100% legal and legitimate. Maybe this is why Wesley Snipes is in jail. Find out the truth the IRS doesn't want you to know. Free consultation. Oh, free, huh? Request more info at... and here's the email. I'll spell it for you, too. Okay, so a free consultation. Request more info at irscansuckit at gmail.com. irscansuckit at gmail.com. That's irscansuckit at gmail.com. It's your money. Get it all back legally. That's their quote. Look at, and here's the website. irscansuckit at gmail.com. That's just brilliant. Brilliant. Is it okay if I use brilliant? It made me laugh. I thought it was funny. irscansuckit. It's your money. Get it all back legally. Man, maybe they'll hire me for supposed. Yeah, I'd like to do this. I'll help you collect money from people. Free consultation. Interesting. All right, so that's it for today. And just say hi to my buddy back there. My book, The Second Coming of the Messiah, Book 1, The Awakening. Of the millions of people who have already bought the book, thank you so much. It has changed how I can impact people, which is taking the proceeds from that book, purchasing homes and houses, and that are in foreclosure from all the banks. I'm taking them for pennies on the dollar. Then I'm claiming title to them, and then I'm taking all of the homeless people off the street and putting them in those houses. And I'll be able to do it however I want, because I will have claimed title to the property, so I will have control over it. I have control over the property, and that's important because then I can run my organization the way I want to run my organization, and I can hire the people I want to help take care of the people that we're bringing in off of the streets, so that they don't have to live on the streets. Without the monetary system in existence, people would not be living on the streets if money was not an issue. And so I'm giving everything I have to people because I don't want money. I want to take it and use it as a tool to help other people without it. And I'm giving it all away because I don't really care. I'm trying to get rid of the monetary system. That's my goal. And you know that. All right. Thanks for watching The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military industrial complex. They're doing it. Watch out for this staged war with Iran. Peace.
Now available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble is Harry Johnson, Diary of a Gigolo Porn Star. The crazy adventure of a 1951-born male in Beaufort, Georgia with a 2-foot penis that grows to 3 feet. He goes on to become an international porn star after becoming a war hero in Vietnam. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. Today is February 29th, 2012, and I'm back here in wonderful North Hollywood, California, and we're starting this episode right where we started the show, with me beginning P90X as a workout program. And as you can see throughout the process of this show, you really saw how that whole P90X process went. What I have learned since the first iteration of P90X and starting today, my very first workout with P90X again, starting the program again, is that in order for you to maximize your workouts, whether it's P90X or a weightlifting and running regimen or yoga or any type of workout that you choose to do, I recommend the first thing that you do before you start any workout program, or even start it right now, is to kick it off by cleansing your system. Cleanse your intestines, cleanse your body, rid your entire body of body fat, and you can do that through juice fasting. And as you have noticed over the course of this show, juice fasting really works. It's the quickest, most effective thing I have seen that leads to fat loss. There's a big difference between weight loss and fat loss when it comes to body composition. I'm sure you probably know that by now. You want to lose body fat and you want to cleanse your intestines. Juice fasting will empty all of the gunk that's built up in your intestines, and it will alkalize your body so that you can easily fight off any sicknesses or diseases that may already be inhabiting your body or may come to you from an outside source. It will make your immune system stronger, it will make you healthier, it will clear your mind and your body and your soul, because they're all connected. So remember that. And that's what I'm going to do now. Today's February 29th, 2012. When I got back to California and we weighed myself, I weighed 189 pounds, 190 pounds. I just finished it February 29th. I've been home for 9 days. I've been juicing now for the last 4 days. I believe it's been since Friday or Saturday, so 4 or 5 days. And I've only eaten some vegetables and some salad on set because they had nothing else to offer. But for the most part, I have just been drinking water with lemon and juicing. So after I take my shower, I'm going to weigh myself, chart my weight, and then you'll be able to see the weight progress as I get back down to my target weight of 155 pounds. It was 165, but I still felt like I had body fat on me that I did not want. I want to be completely rid of any extra body fat that I do not need, and I probably can survive at 5 to 8% body fat, which is going to be my goal. So we'll chart that progress. All right. Thanks for watching The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military industrial complex. And my goal weight is going to be 155. So we're going to get to that. All right. We'll be back after this. I believe I'm going to come with you maybe a segment of law class or a quick interview. All right. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Ronald Farnham. Every day of every year, innocent children suffer from hunger. It's up to us to help. The children are our future. Let's stop talking about helping and start helping. So donate today.
What if a government intelligence analyst from the Pentagon is forced to save mankind from extinction and the world from destruction, but first he must evolve into the Messiah and create the plan to save the world? The 21st century Messiah arrives, battles dark forces, and sparks the Armageddon that leads to the apocalypse, rapture, the 2012 pole shift, and extraterrestrial contact. Buy the book today by Ronald Farnham at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. The Second Coming of the Messiah, Book 1, The Awakening. You're going to go ahead. You're going to go down there and give them the paperwork. And that paperwork is going to be processed with that date. It's a public claim. So you'll go to, In fact, let me give you, so what's happening is they are giving you until a certain date to get out of your house?
The 11th. We got to be out of here by the 11th.
You have to be out by March 11th, 2012?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so the sheriff is...
Actually, I'm sorry, it was actually before that date, but they've extended it because we've been working with the person that processes the rent, and we told her we needed more time.
Uh-huh.
So we bought a little more time in order to take care of some of my dad's, heavy machinery and all that crap.
Right.
And that's how did this, you remember me telling you about the UCC stuff that I filled out with my taxes?
I think that you're going to want to bring any paperwork with you that shows the UCC one. When I send you the email with the UCC filing paperwork, it's going to have it comes with instructions. You're going to have the instructions on how to file the UCC one. I'm going to send a couple of documents that'll give you all the supporting information that explains to you why you're filing the UCC one for the claim on your property, and that why you will now control the property, and that the bank and nobody can ever take it away from you, because now you are a sovereign owner and the property becomes sovereign. What you'll do is, when you file the UCC1 claim and take control over the property, you are also going to become responsible for that. So that property will be taken off the tax assessor's grid and will no longer be registered as a property that is taxable, so you won't have to pay any more property taxes on it. However, your property taxes that you were paying were going towards privileges such as fire department, police department, water, and electricity. So once you take control over the property, you will then have to bond with each of those companies for electricity and water. So you'll have to take over payments for all that stuff if you want it. So you'll have to choose fire department, police department. If you don't have fire department or police department and you're not paying them every month, then they're not going to come to your house. I guess technically they might not even understand that or know that you're not. If a dispute is, if you call 911, police are going to come to your house, and then, but they won't know that. The 911 will just say, what's your address, and send the police. So same thing with a fire. Now, I don't know what you'll have to work out with electricity and water, but once it comes off the tax assessor's list, you no longer are paying any more taxes for those services. So, but you've taken control over the property. Now nobody can take it from you.
I see. So this meaning that doesn't matter the prior history of the financial prior history of allowing mortgages and all that, it doesn't matter. So any of that.
When you went to closing and you paid that first mortgage, when your dad signed on the line on the contract at closing, that was payment. Technically, right then and there, and realistically, his signature paid for the house under Admiralty and the commercial law, Admiralty law, which is what we operate under. That is true and fact. It is the fact for everybody. But you get tricked by the banks into going in, but people don't understand the monetary system. So the banks make you sign another set of papers, making you pay a whole new loan program with interest. So that's why the banks have the biggest and most beautiful buildings, because they trick you into paying them extra money that legally you really don't have to pay because you've paid for the house with your signature. And you'll learn that when you go to creditorsInCommerce.com and listen to the Temple audio series starting at the bottom link.
Sure. Interesting. So, okay, so basically, since I'm in the house and occupying the house,
Yeah.
I can go there and fill these forms out. They have it documented. Now, if I continue to occupy the house and they come to the door and they say, well, we're changing the locks and we got to physically remove you, what then? What do you, I mean, how does that...
You show them your a copy of your UCC1 financing statement and say, oh, no, the police aren't allowed here. See, I control this property. You're no longer allowed to, I don't pay for your service. You can go away. They no longer, plus you control the property. So you show them the copy of your UCC1 financing statement. In fact, I would be proactive in that matter and just let them know that now you're dealing with the banks because you've taken control over the property. Here's your UCC1 claim. Go down to the police station and go, hey, here's the deal. Remember, you're a creditor at that point. You control in the next 3 days, you're going to learn so much about what your real power and relationship is with the law that you're going to feel very comfortable. It'll take the stress out of it because you will go in there and just say, here's the truth, here's the law, here's the contract, here's my control, this is legal. It's part of the UCC1, the Uniform Commercial Code that we operate under. And they'll go, okay. And then, boom, case closed. Now police will no longer be involved in that matter.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and you have, just go in there and go, hey, how are you? I'm just coming in to let you know. Be very non-confrontational and relaxed because now you have nothing to be stressed about. And, they have to operate under the law and you'll be in there, video cameras will be rolling in that lobby. And so it's all going to go on record. And you're just giving that. In fact, I would go bring them a copy of it, of your UCC1 to the police station. Bring them like 3 copies, one for the, so that they can put it in the file and say, okay, he's got claim over that property. We're not even going down there anymore.
Right. So, and then at that point, that you have to establish a new relationship with the, like you said, the water, the gas.
Yeah, exactly. And, that might be a slow process. I don't think as soon as you file the paperwork, they're going to just call the electric company and have them turn everything off. I believe you'll get the information on the procedure, however the county recorder does it. So.
Right.
And who knows, they might be a little bit ignorant of the law too, but you'll have to educate them. You probably won't, but you'll be able to go down there and file the proper paperwork, and they'll look at it, and, they'll understand what you're doing because they know how the system works.
Sure.
They just don't go spreading that information around, so most people in the country do not have control over their property.
Right. That's interesting. Well, I'm having a meeting with this very, very kind of flip guy who works with the Occupy Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
And we're getting together tomorrow. So what I'd like to do is show him all this and tell him what I'm doing and see if he's aware of that himself. Because it's a really important tool for him. Because if he's representing all these people being foreclosed on.
Yeah, and see, this is a process that I've put in my book I just published, The Second Coming of the Messiah, which I think I would like for it to be the handbook and the Bible for the people who are doing the Occupy America thing, because I have the solution. And what I'm telling you to do is part of the solution. America, instead of people living on the street and being homeless and getting kicked out of their houses and lied to and stolen from by the banks, my book, this is all teaching people how to reclaim their property take control over their property first and their human vessel. You're going to learn that you're just a social security number. You are just a corporate fiction that's created by your live certificate of birth that boots you into admiralty law so that you have to have this corporate fiction created and that you go to jail for, you pay, you serve jail time for. Everybody is in this system and they don't understand the truth about it. So the truth is coming out now, where it's becoming an epidemic that people can't afford to live their life anymore, having to work more than you can to try and pay whatever you can to survive is just, crazy with the bills and the cost of living and gas prices and food prices and cell phone bills and cable bills and electricity and water and taxes. And it's just like, before you know it, there's not you're in the red when it comes to money, and people are living in this crazy society and getting kicked out of their houses now. So the first thing we do is start taking back control of our land and shut the banks down.
That's great, dude. I really appreciate doing this, because if I can pull this off, that would mean everything.
Now available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble is Harry Jonson, Diary of a Gigolo Porn Star. The crazy adventure of a 1951-born male in Beaufort, Georgia with a 2-foot penis that grows to 3 feet. He goes on to become an international porn star after becoming a war hero in Vietnam. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
In some ways, you describe certain things as sort of the film The Matrix. It's kind of what they, were kind of coming across, where, the corporate hypocrisy of ownership and, control, and people have to pop out of their little imaginary bubble that they create and just kind of look around and see what really is going on.
Yes, exactly. And educating people on the truth about the law is so crucial to understanding how to escape from this slavery that we are living under. And so when you talk to your friend, I want you to tell him, give me his address, get his address, and I want to mail him a copy of my book so he can read it, and because I want him to see what I'm trying to do. And I'll even mail him a DVD of my reality show, which is also designed, it's teaching people how to do what I'm telling you to do. In fact, I want to put your whole case study on my reality show as this is how it happened, this is what we did, this is how we succeeded, even interview you, because my reality show is ongoing. So I want to find out now how this whole process goes. I'm excited because I want to send you the information. I want you to study the link. You got to listen to the 3 hours of audio I'm going to send you. You have to. And I'll send you the specific link to the audio that you want to listen to first, and I'll send you the link that puts you to the whole list of audio that you are going to want to listen to over time. So you become an expert in conducting yourself in admiralty law so that you always now are negotiating in your own favor, and you understand the power of you, the sovereign human being, and controlling your assets and your human vessel.
Right. Yeah, because I've been using some of that speech about being my vessel and stuff to some of these people, and they kind of, it's something, they kind of look at me and with that Scooby-Doo thing,
I know. I hear you. It's true. People. I guess there's a certain number of people that are kind of awake to and receptive to this information, and then there's a vast majority who are either, you get wrapped up in your own life going so fast you don't have time to look around and go, hey, wait a second, what's going on here? Why am I living like this? Until someone steps in front of you and goes, wait, stop, listen, can I talk to you? Can I tell you what's going on? Here, you don't have to pay your mortgage. You already paid it when you signed for it. I mean, that's a huge realization. You got people, time has become a commodity, and working harder and harder, longer and longer every day in order to make as much as we can every hour of the day so that we can afford to live according to what we believe is our standard of living, which has been forced upon us by rules and regulations, car insurance, home insurance, taxes, federal, state, and government taxes, mortgages, which are a trick, car payments, which are a trick. You'll also take control over your vehicle by getting the manufacturer's statement of origin returned to you and claiming control and filing UCC1 for that and getting rid of your driver's license. When you register your car with the Department of Motor Vehicles, you're actually signing it over to them. When you buy your car, the title goes to the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles. It doesn't,
That's right.
You don't get the title. So you don't get the manufacturer's statement of origin, which is basically the birth certificate and title and control and ownership of the vehicle. Another trick. So people are, thinking that they're doing what they're supposed to do, but they're being tricked into more indebtedness. And when the president printed off those trillions of dollars to bail us out of the economy, he actually put us further into debt by printing off money, because money represents money owed. It doesn't represent currency. It's a debt instrument. It costs.
Yeah, it's a futures thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's total futures. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Currency trading, basically. That's why I own about a lot of dinar. When the dinar revalues, I can sell it back for dollars and trade that currency. And yeah, I agree. It's easy to bounce around money like that.
Huh. Interesting, dude. Sounds good. I'll be looking forward to seeing those links. And I'll get on this right away, and we'll hopefully I can digest this shit and conduct myself properly.
Yeah, that's important. The basic thing to do is, if you ever feel threatened, just ask them what their name is. What is your name? And then they'll point to their tag and they'll go, right here, can't you see it? And I'll go, yes, but is that your name or your title? So basically, stay calm and always ask questions and identify who is standing in front of you and challenging you. So when you ask their name, they will try and give you a title. And then you ask them, well, is that your title or your name? That's my title. Can I? And then, okay, can I write that name down? Do you have a claim against me, or do you have, you know what I mean? When people try and tell you and get, like, the police might try and threaten you. I've been threatened by the police where they don't threaten, but they use nonverbal communication through body language to threaten and to ask questions in a very harsh way, or to make declaratory statements and ask questions to intimidate. So I always return their questions with a question, and I basically ask them who they are and what they want and why they want it. When they ask you for your name, and you give it to them without any conditional acceptance, then they can do whatever they want with it. Whenever someone asks me for, like a police officer asks me for my driver's license or my name, I say, they say, you have to give me your driver's license. It's a law if you're driving. I go, yes, I will give you my driver's license. As long as you don't write it down, because my name belongs to me. It's mine, and I don't give anyone permission to use it. It belongs to me. And so you can see my driver's license, but you cannot write my name down. Now they have to accept or walk away because you've offered a conditional acceptance and stayed in honor with them. So it's that kind of verbal, once you start digesting the information, it's that kind of verbal negotiating that you'll be able to do.
Wow, that's great, dude. That's a lot of power.
Yeah, exactly. In a very nonviolent and calm way. Just by asking questions. And you'll see, if you stay calm, you'll see how enraged they get around you.
Right.
All right, cool. So I'll email you.
Sounds good, Ronald. I really, really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon if I have any questions about it. I'll give you the game.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Brad. Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. We'll be back after this. Peace.
Have you ever wanted to write a book? Have you ever wanted to write a screenplay? Have you ever wanted to have your great movie idea turned into a screenplay, turned into a movie, turned into a book, and distributed all over the world? Well, now you can learn how to do it with the great new book by Ronald Farnham, How to Write a Screenplay in 30 Days or Less. It includes the logline, theme, synopsis, outline, and screenplay of the 3 magic questions. Learn how to write a screenplay in 30 days or less, or your money back. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.